G'day guys, Lemon Eating Cow here, and today I am back with another Dragon's Dogma The Dark Arisen guide, and this time I'm going to be showing you what I believe to be the most effective way to level your character. Now this can be done if you're really quite skillful and you know your way around the game. I would say probably about level 50 you could start doing this, but it's effective all the way up through the hundreds, and it could probably even get you to level 200 pretty quickly. So this method involves killing Death on BitterBlack Isle over and over again. Usually he'll have static spawns, but I'm going to show you a way that you can make him respawn pretty much infinitely and just keep on farming him for experience. So in order to get this to work effectively and properly, then you're going to need to have a certain level of progression. I would highly recommend getting to a point in the main story where you've unlocked the Godsbane weapon or the Godsbane item. It's going to make it a whole heap faster. As well as in BitterBlack Isle, as I mentioned, you're going to have to have killed Daimon at least once, the final boss, at least once to unlock this. Before that, Death is going to have static spawns. You can use the same method on him on his static spawns, but it may be a little bit more difficult to replicate. So some other items that you might need for this are the blast arrows and the Conqueror's Periapt. Now I've done a separate video on why these are so powerful and so good together, and that will be in the description below or at the end of the video. But basically they are very overpowered ammo for the bow. So if you use these with the 4 Conqueror's Periapts at once, you're going to do a massive amount of damage. You can buy an unlimited amount of blast arrows from Camellia's Apothecary in GranSoren, and the Conqueror's Periapt you can actually buy an unlimited amount from Fornival, the vendor that you saved from the, well, hopefully saved from being proven guilty in the trial about midway through the game. So another really important item is the Rancid bait meat. Now the Rancid bait meat can be found in a lot of different chests through the BitterBlack Isle, and I imagine if you've beat Daimon at least once, you're going to have at least a few of these lying around, but they should be fairly easy to farm within the dungeon. I'm not sure whether you can craft these or there's a good source to farm them. If anybody has an effective method, then I'd appreciate you leaving a method down in the comment section below. So other items that might make your life a little bit easier are the Veteran's Periapt or the Pilgrim's Charm. These actually give you 2 times experience, so they're going to make this method, well, 2 times as fast, so I highly recommend getting those. Fornival will sell the Veteran's Periapt at a higher level of intimacy, but you can also craft these as well. It's definitely necessary to bring some stamina regaining items and maybe even a liquid vim to stop your stamina degradation or usage. Also some Liftstones are going to make this quite a bit easier, but otherwise that's pretty much all the items that you're going to need. So as far as vocations go, you're going to want to be any class that can use a bow. I think the most effective classes for doing this are the Ranger, if you're going to be using the blast arrows and using their 10-fold flurry, which shoots, of course, 10 arrows at once, and it's going to do a massive amount of damage. Or you can use the Ricochet Shot with the Magic Archer, but I think you're going to have to be quite a bit of a higher level for that to be effective. So as far as pawns go, the less pawns you have with you, the more experience that you're going to get, or your main character is going to get. If you have only your main pawn with you and you want to get rid of them, you can simply throw them into the harbor and not worry about them. But it's actually good to keep them tagged along because you can use them as an item mule, and it's a good way to get them leveled up. So for each pawn you use, it's going to split the experience one way. So if you have 4 pawns, you're going to get 25% less experience. So it's definitely the most effective if you do this on your own, and it's quite easy too if you do that. So for this method to work, of course, like I said, you're going to have to have beat Daimon at least once. Then from the harbor, all you have to do is head into the first area and check if you get the right enemy spawn. The enemies that we're looking for are the Saurian or the lizard dudes. There's a possibility you're going to get some goblins to spawn here. If that's the case, all you have to do is head out the door that you've already come in and then head back in. And each time you do that, it's going to kind of refresh or give you a different instance of this first area. So you want to keep on doing that until you see the lizard dudes. Once you do, you can either take them out or just run past them. But we're going to want to get to the main courtyard here. In the main courtyard, there's often some invisible lizards around, but there is also some gore chimeras or sometimes a black or a dark chimera walking around. So make sure you take out all of them and you get the opportunity to save your game. So save and continue, and once you've done that, pull out your Godsbane and stab yourself. This will let you retry or reload your game that you saved, and it's important to do that. I don't believe this method works without doing the Godsbane trick and retrying or reloading your game. So once you're back in the game, we're going to use that Rancid bait meat, and that's going to summon in death for us. Before we do that, we want to make sure we've got full stamina, because you're going to be using a lot of the stamina on him, and he's going to appear just under the doorway there, so make sure you get in a good position for that. So once you've made him spawn, go into a menu and make sure your blast arrows are equipped or they're being used, as well as popping 4 of those Conquerors Periapt. Now they're going to be most effective when you pop 4 of them. They don't go over that, but just pop 4 of them and you'll do a massive amount of damage to him. So once he spawns in, just smash him with that tenfold flurry or whatever your most powerful move is, and if you do enough damage to him, he'll actually do this kind of flip or a somersault, and if you can do consistently enough damage, he's going to stay locked in that loop. So I think you can get off about maybe 3 sets of shots each time, and if you can keep up that damage, there's no way that he can run away. If you give him enough time to do whatever he wants without causing enough damage, he actually has a potential to run away, and then you're going to have to go back to the start and sleep for a few days and then repeat the method to get him back. He will be on that same amount of health that you left him on, but it's just going to add time to the whole thing. So definitely you want to get to a point where you're keeping him in that somersault type of loop. So once you've got him in that loop and you're pretty confident that you're going to kill him, you can wait pretty much until the last minute. Go into your menu and pop either the Pilgrim's Charm or the Veteran's Periapt, so you double up your experience, and then simply go ahead and kill the dude. So once you've killed him, you'll notice here I've got 1 pawn with me, and I get 600,000 experience. If you've popped a Veteran's Charm, that'll double to about 1.2 million. So you can see it is a ridiculously large amount of experience here. If you're also playing on hard mode, I believe you get 4 times the amount of experience as well. I think I'm only playing on easy mode here, and it's still an outrageously large amount of experience. So once you've killed death, you just have to use a Liftstone to get back to the entrance, or you can walk back there. And in order to make him respawn or refresh, you have to sleep at the bench for at least 3 days. Once you've slept for 3 days, all you have to do is repeat that method, and you can keep on doing this over and over and over again. I think I did this for about 30 or 40 minutes, and I got about 35 levels off it. So it's very, very effective way of leveling. I believe it'd probably be even effective all the way up to level 200. So yeah, definitely a very good way to level. So guys, that's the method I've been using to level. If you have any other alternative methods, maybe you want to tell people a little bit more about the Magic Archer's Ricochet Shot method, then leave that in the comment section below. If this video did help you out, please leave a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed already, then please do so. This has been Lemon Eating Cow. Moo.